Hi. Uh, I had a bad situation. I had a write error in my memory card in the camera. So I was like almost done with this thing, and then it didn't write. So I'm back again trying to do it again, do this video again. So, anyway, I hope it's a quick one. I'll try to run through it really fast. I wrote a post called The Privilege of Collapse, and I'm just kind of imagining what kind of an education we would need if we were going to be able to turn the world around. I've said often that all the genies are out of the bottle. Yeah, I've said often that the genies are out of the bottle. So, meaning that, we have modern industrial technological global civilization now, and we've discovered a lot of things through our science and everything. And those genies are not going to go back in the bottle. So we have to become genie tamers somehow. I think young people need a project where they can believe that they can salvage some of the best elements of modernity, modern industrial society, and have some kind of interesting future besides being cavemen. So our species may become extinct, but we're never going to be cavemen again. Yeah, it goes into education, how we think, things like that, and just kind of tries to imagine a future where we have a better world. So it's just one take on it. There's a million ways to look at these things. I suggest some books like Material World and Public Opinion by Walter Lippmann. I think everybody should read that. It was written so long ago after World War I, and it's so contemporary. When you read it, it sounds like he wrote it today. It's just so incredible. And it talks about, how people are manipulated, roles and stereotypes, censorship and privacy, propaganda, manufacturing consent, all that kind of stuff. It's brilliant. I suggest you read Material World. I put in a little deep dive podcast about a resource balanced economy. I think, the Venus Project, all these kinds of things, Clive Spash, I don't think any of it's perfect, but it's good to have alternative ways of looking at things rather than just saying that, the only future for human beings is if we become primitive again. That's not going to happen. So we have to look at things we have to engage it. People just aren't going to get behind all the doomer stuff and say that it's all bad. And so there's nothing we can do about it. So let's just accelerate to the wall and blow everything up. Material World's a good book by Ed Conway. I suggest that. So anyway, go ahead and read that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But, I also suggest that you listen to Citations Needed, which is a podcast I like. And the recent upload is called The Shallow Power Flattering Appeal of High Status. And it's a really good episode. And their guest is Greg Grandin, who's a professor of history at Yale. And he's written a lot of really great books. Fordlandia, which is one that I think is excellent, about Henry Ford's City in the Jungle of Brazil. Empire's Workshop, I've read that one. It's really good. Latin America, the United States, and the Making of an Imperial Empire. Also, recently I was revisiting Quinn Slobodian. I mentioned his book, Globalist, The End of Empire and the Birth of Neoliberalism. It's pretty good. But he's written a lot of cool stuff. Hayek's Bastards, Crack Up Capitalism, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, he's a good one. You know, you have to look at history and see how people see it so we can understand how we got here. You know, the better educated we are, the more capable we will be to re-engineer and reimagine and redevelop things so that, you know, there can be a future for humanity. Some people don't care. I understand that. It's like you just want to get yours now and have a lot of fun and enjoy life and what who cares about what comes next? I get that. Some people really don't, you know, they're just that selfish and myopic and they want to live in the moment and all that kind of stuff. I get it. Uh, I talk about dark psychology in this post. I've talked about that before, but it seems like our way of life, our civilization, is a dark psychology, a dark tetrad making machine. I mean, all the people who win in the great game are psychopaths or sociopaths. You know, it seems like that. I know there are good people who are winners, but in general, the way we've been trained and what we believe in is kind of a mess if you think about it from a natural sciences point of view and understand what it takes to have life. So I talk about life begets life in this article I wrote, and just how interdependent everything is. I talk about cultural anthropology, but life begets life, life and entropy, life and thermodynamics. Life is dependent on life. And if we don't get that, we're just going to kill everything, which is tragic. And I suggest people watch the Buy Now on, it's a documentary on Netflix, pretty interesting. It's not perfect, but it's interesting. I've mentioned that before. Again, I've mentioned the Machiavellians, but it's very interesting to read James Burnham, his point of view on it. The great game, players of the great game are Machiavellian. It can be good or bad depending on how you think about it. If you read Epictetus, you know, Stoic philosopher, you can make any bad thing something good, you know? So there's a quote I put in here from Epictetus. Do I have a bad neighbor? Bad for himself, but good for me, because he enables me to practice being courteous and fair. Do I have a bad father? Bad for himself, but good for me. Here's what the magic wand of Hermes promises. Touch what you want with it, and it will turn to gold. Well, I can't promise that exactly, but whatever you present me with, I'll turn it to good account. Bring illness, death, poverty, insults, a trial on a capital charge, at a touch from the magic wand. All these will turn into things that do one good. So I recommend you read that. I was inspired by my Stoic friends to bring that up. So anyway, go ahead and read that. Greg Slobodian is really cool. Follow, Quinn Slobodian and Greg Grandin are very cool historians. You can look for them on YouTube and read their books and whatnot. I hope you'll read my blog post and comment, tell me what you think. I posted it at Globe Hackers Facebook page and on minds.com, BuliumT. You can get a link there or in the description of this video. So anyway, have a good rest of the week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take good care. BuliumT out.